boy, it's gonna be a fun night. We're back finally. Again, a couple of bumps on the road. Nick is absent again tonight. Some very unfortunate things happening on his end of the world, so we just wish him the best and hope that he will return to us as soon as he can, once everything is under control, that is. But the rest of us are here. Yay!
Yay!
So it's been 2 weeks since the last session. I'm pretty sure no one has inspiration, so let's roll some d20s. Let's see what happens. You have inspiration? Then you don't roll.
I do.
Ah,
I got
damn it!
I believe, actually.
Hold on. Before we get too far into our little... Where's my thing?
Do.
Yeah,
I don't have inspiration.
I use my inspiration on a
But,
eyeball.
Let's see. What did we roll? What did we roll, people?
I rolled really low.
Low. I'm just gonna put up some background music for us.
Okay, I hear it.
Okay, it's a very quiet, slow start. 18, Cirion!
Oh, fuck.
Would you be so kind as to give us a recap from session 19 2 weeks ago?
I thought it was session 20.
Session 20's tonight.
Oh, well, we got lost in notes somewhere. Fun fact for people, we were joking about that a second ago.
We were, but one number behind.
Okay. Last time, if memory serves me correctly, which it probably doesn't, because I've had a scattered brain the last couple days. Cirion and Locke went to the local tavern to gain some more information on the Ranger, or the Hellion, whoever came first, from our favorite bartender, who is turning into our source of information really quickly. Sat down, got some information. We were originally going to go check out the stables, because that's where he was last seen. And then all of a sudden, this hunk of a man comes and sits down right next to us, and by the name of Rador, and
oh my god, and guys, oh my god.
I'll say that jawline was chiseled. Anywho. Cirion talked with him, and Rador possibly doesn't know that the people he's potentially looking for were sitting right in front of him. So he left, went about his business, and then Locke and Cirion proceeded to go off and do the same thing. Meanwhile, we're going to rotate over to, I almost said Vidor, Malvhor, having a slight episode of Jerry Springer trying to get some information out of Goldwyn of whether he has a kid or not. Still kind of left ambiguous, but the survey says, well, no, that's Family Feud. Results show that he might be the father.
Might be.
So, some emotional depth there. Him talking, it was a nice moment. And then we proceeded to go inside, and a familiar face, the mysterious Rador, sitting there, apparently looking for us. And that's where we left off, I believe.
Yeah, that's pretty much the long and short of it from last session. You can go ahead and take inspiration. Party split. Some of you had a relaxing... One of you had a relaxing day. The other one had an emotional roller coaster. And then the other two probably had their hearts jumping out of their chests with Rador nearby for one reason or another.
They might want to throw out that stool I was sitting on, I'm just gonna say.
But when you all did end up returning to the parlor that evening, two of you ended up trying to overhear what a conversation was being discussed down the hall between Dorsey and this mysterious client of his, a friend that had been coming in, that ultimately is what drove you guys out into the wilderness to get tea leaves days earlier. And Fig, actually, upon the time she was coming in, was intercepted, for lack of a better term, with Dorsey and this guest who turned out to be Rador. And that's where we're going to pick up tonight. But first...
Don't do this to me.
Malvhor, and I apologize in advance, this is going to be one of the most obscure questions we'll ever have. Because
of course.
there wasn't a whole lot for me to pick from. When Locke and Cirion were at the pier trying to drum up some information, they saw an individual in the corner. They initially thought they might be somebody of interest, but ended up disappearing amidst their conversation with Rador. However, they did hear Rador talking with Radella back and forth about what he might be looking for and what's going on. He is operating under the belief in the information that he's gotten that the ones he's looking for are in the city, along with an organization, an entity of sorts, known as the Eye, is also operating in Peligir. He got this information from his sources that he referred to as blank.
Wow, this is very obscure.
It is.
I don't even remember that.
Okay, give me a second. He got his intel from Yeah, I mean, it's not on my notes, so I don't have it right at the hip. I'm just trying to remember and think. I'm just gonna guess, which is always excellent. He got his intel from a merchant.
Unfortunately, that is correct. Incorrect.
I was gonna say, what? I was gonna be
stuttered.
so surprised.
I stuttered. No, in the conversation, in a very stern voice and tone with Radella, he informed her that now my hawks here have told me that certain individuals are operating here. His hawks.
Hawks. And I remember hearing that, but I don't think of hawks as people.
Yeah. Maybe they weren't people. We don't know. He just referred to them as his hawks. But, so tonight, we will pick up where we left off, once I rearrange some stuff.
I was really hoping you were going to ask me for his horse's name, because I had that written down.
Quickfire?
Yep.
There we go. Little nighttime mood soundscape there. So, Fig, most of your companions have gone upstairs already, as they've all sort of staggered their entries back into the parlor one by one. However, when you come in last, you walk into the foyer that is spread out with various cats of various shapes, sizes, colors. And as you do, a door from down the hall squeaks open and two individuals come out one holding a tea kettle and the other one a sort of almost beige cream porcelain teacup, who happens to look over you in a very familiar face as Rador, who looks at you and goes, Fig.
Oh. I look at Dorsey. He's the guest.
He is! Do you two know each other? I wasn't expecting that one. We do. In fact, we had some business together in Osgiliath, and I've actually been looking for her in your party. Are they all here?
Yes. They are here.
It's excellent.
Laying low.
I can
Get
go
low,
them.
get low, get low, get low.
You're more than welcome to retrieve them right now if you wish to converse and speak for the night. I know the hour is late. I only just got in recently myself, and it appears you're coming in at a late hour. You might be tired. It is completely up to you. I'm here to talk. I'm going to be in Pelagia for quite some
I'll
time.
go get them, and I just walk to get them.
Okay. He sort of.
I was still holding a pouch of the what are they? Rabbit leftovers. So I'll just put it on the counter for Dorsey and then head off down the hallway to the 2 rooms.
Okay. The two of them sort of look at each other, and Dorsey just looks at him and goes, "She's not one for conversation, is she?" From what I gather, that's not really her strong suit in that group.
I'll start knocking on the door first that I believe Malvhor and Cirion are behind. And I say believe because I'm pretty sure that's where they went. I think we said that was the plan, to just go straight to our rooms.
We're just in there puking because we've had too much to drink.
So I knock on the door.
Way too close to home, Matt.
Ah, yes, hello?
It's me.
Ah, what's up, killer?
Oh, the guest. It's Rador. He's here.
Oh!
I just ran into him, so I thought we'd say hello all together.
Oh, of course, yes. That's
I
a
will
great
get
idea.
Locke. And then I'll just also go waltz right into the room that Locke and I share and grab him too.
Okay. You express the information, and he stands and gestures for you to lead the way.
And I lead everyone back.
All right, the 4 of you trek back downstairs as Dorsey and Rador are seemingly finishing some conversation as they look up and see you making your way down the stairs. And Rador looks at him. Would you mind? We can have a private conversation down the hall in one of the side rooms. Would that be all right? Oh, of course. Yes, it's time to feed the little ones around here. Anyway, you can just go back down to the same one we've been to. If you need me, as he looks out to all of you, if you need tea or refreshments for the evening, don't hesitate to ask. Now, the rest of you, come. Out. We have to feed. Come on, go. As he sort of herds the cats down the hallway and into a side room on the left. You do notice, looking at Rador, who's dressed in his usual clothing, and he's still holding the one teacup, but you do notice that he's not leaning on a cane. Well, friends, it's been some time, and I suspect you have questions. So.
Indeed, Rador, it's good to see you.
Likewise, it was some concern for a while there on my behalf. Let's take this down to the side room, shall we?
Indeed.
Not exactly busy in here, but I'd rather not have prying ears.
You never know who's watching, and I'm just gonna look at the painting up on the wall.
He goes to turn as you to start leading you, and then as you're saying that, he stops and follows your gaze. It's something with the painting.
Yeah, its eyes follow you. I think it's just a trick of the painting, but it's a little unsettling.
Follows.
Well, that's not unnerving at all. Come. Z walks you down about four doors and into a small sort of tea room. It's a little cramped with the amount of people that you have. There's a small table in there for about 3 people, but there is room for you all to sort of sit, stand, and at least converse as he makes his way over to a chair that's close by towards the frosted glass that he sits in and places his teacup on the table and leans back in the chair. Well, make yourselves comfortable. Where shall we begin?
Well, we've been laying low, and I would say I think we're doing a good job if you struggled to find us. There's also...
Yes, I had several of my contacts searching for you to expedite things on my side. Unfortunately, we followed a false rumor that you were in Dal Amroth, which sort of slowed our investigation.
Well, I mean, I did give I did tell the guards at the gate as we were leaving, because we had to come up with an excuse, a reason, and I didn't want word to get back that we were going to Pelagia to anybody. So that's my doing.
Very astute, honestly. If that was the rumor that got back to us, that means somebody was keeping tabs on you upon your exit. So.
But it hasn't entirely saved us, as there is a ranger here in town now looking for us.
Did he tell us that?
Cirion?
I think Cirion told us that.
Already?
I mean, we know there's a ranger looking for us. We don't.
Yeah.
Did Cirion tell us he met with the ranger? I think we talked about that at Goldwyn's.
Oh, we did. Yeah, I thought we did.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
I was just clarifying your question, if you were asking if Cirion told you or if Rador told you, so.
Yeah, no, I wasn't sure if, I couldn't remember if Cirion talked about his excursion with Locke.
Yep, you guys discussed it at Goldwyn's briefly.
Okay.
A ranger by the name of, Bardol. From the way Cirion describes him, he's a very good-looking man.
Well, that is definitely one of his reputations, for sure. Is many a tongue whispering about him in Minas Tirith. But among the rangers in the White Tower, he is renowned for his tracking skill.
Well, I mean, he does seem to be the first one to have tracked us here, but Cirion apparently had a conversation with him and wasn't recognized, so...
Well, that is fortuitous, for sure. Hopefully he's not immediately suspicious. Odds are if he's here, he's aware that you're in the city. Though I'm unsure who may have dispatched him.
It is strange, given the rumors I sowed, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I don't seek a confrontation with him, and the longer we can put it off, the happier I'll be.
I agree. The less attention and overall noise that is caused is probably for the best.
A cat just attacked Cirion.
You see Rador reach over and scratch the cat's head. Oh, Kip, please, we're trying to have a conversation.
Oh.
I'm gonna pick it up. Pick it up and put it down. And for my case, throw her off to the side.
There is another update as well. When we went out to pick the tea leaves for Dorsey, our path took us to a cave that was inhabited by much the similar ilk who inhabited your mine. The kicker is that the individual known as Mordu was there.
You see his expression shifts slightly to that more of a serious tone, very flat-faced and tight-lipped. So it appears they are expanding, or at least they have a further reach than we suspected.
Indeed, Mordu.
You know about Mordu?
Yes, we discussed him in the former governor's, king's house back in Osgiliath.
Mordu
It
did
was,
escape.
Unfortunate. Do you have any sort of indication of what he might be doing? Is what he was doing in this region?
I have no idea. He was kidnapping people. I believe he was draining their blood. For one purpose or another.
Yes.
It matches what we've seen before.
More vials, right? I think there were more vials.
Yeah.
You saw Malvhor saw like one flask, like glass flask, filled with a crimson liquid. Everything else were barrels.
Barrel. Oh.
So you didn't see inside the barrels.
What was
You didn't investigate them.
No.
What was strange was that Mordu also thanked us for what we did in Osgiliath. However, it's puzzling to me how our actions aided Mordu. Apparently, the collapse of that cavern must have aided him in some regard, but that was out of our control. Which is wrong place, wrong time.
That does appear to be aligning with a bit of independent research I've done while searching for, or at least waiting to hear from word where your whereabouts may be. I just want to be clear that I did not mean to leave you in that cell. Much transpired after my departure of Osgiliath, and much has transpired in Osgiliath since. I went with your request to Minas Tirith to petition the king. Unfortunately, the rules of the court are not things that I've typically meshed with. And because of that, I was not exactly rushed to the front of the line to speak with the king, though I was eventually heard. Unfortunately, other matters took his attention in the interim, and an individual who had much to speak about the events of Osgiliath arrived before me, a one Captain Turgon.
Turgon!
Some bitch.
The events of that cavern beneath the city, and the wild rumors, as correct as they may have been, but the general public at large will only know it as rumors, of orcs and goblins residing within the walls of Osgiliath, beneath the city or not, was enough for Turgon, who was a captain of the garrison in Osgiliath, to petition the king and use Osgiliath, being the last line of defense between the rest of the nation, to invoke martial law.
Oh.
Because of that was invoked prior to my audience with the king, and by the time I spoke with him some days later, as he looks at Locke, while the king had much to praise about your works with the horn, and was willing to give you a pardon, he feared that in the time, with the situation, that doing so would jeopardize the security of Osgiliath and the rest of Gondor. So that is unfortunately why I did not return to free you.
That's okay. I trust you did your best, and you know, we're all sitting in this lovely little inn now, enjoying each other's company. So all in all, so far, it's worked out well.
You have quite the optimistic outlook on life there, Malvhor. I appreciate
I don't have much of an outlook life, so it better be left, so it better be optimistic.
Regardless, I apologize for the state I left you in. And by the time news had reached me that there had been a jailbreak, you were gone in the wind.
You didn't think we would just sit on our hands, would you?
No, that was me.
I do believe a bit of the news of your escape was slowed by someone within the walls as well. But we can pick away at that at another time. Regardless, I'm glad you're safe. And the situation in Osgiliath has grown much darker. And because of that, I have actually not been allowed re-entry into Osgiliath due to the nature of the martial law. Turgon has essentially seized control of the city for the sake of keeping Gondor's borders and the strategic position on the river safe. Especially with Minas Morgul, as they calling it now, just a few miles away.
Something about Captain Turgon just rubs me the wrong way.
I am inclined to agree with you. Unfortunately, currently we have nothing to go on.
True. So, your work bring you to Pelagia?
It did. I eventually received word that you may be within the area, though residing within the city I didn't actually suspect, so this is quite fortuitous. In the interim, while my contacts searched high and low for you, I continued to do research I could without most of my materials, the binders and the tomes that we initially discussed within the walls currently still reside there. I unfortunately couldn't reclaim them once Turgon took over. However, this Mordu that you've met and that we've seen in writings, make no mistake, he is an entity that's of extreme danger. Further research that I pulled from Minas Tirith's records indicate that this is what is known in our deep history as a Black Numenorian. Fig, you look confused.
Numenorian.
Correct. There are several prominent Black Numenorians throughout Gondor's history. Gondor, as you may or may not know, are vastly descendants from Numenor, an island that rested outside off the mainland of Middle-earth. Those that ultimately sided with the Dark Lord Sauron as Numenorians were ultimately branded as Black Numenorians, fallen, if you will. Mordu is one such entity.
Does that explain the blood then?
Unfortunately, no. The blood is something else entirely. At least, from what I believe. Mordu first appears in historical records early in the Second Age of Middle-earth. His true age is a bit unknown, but I suspect it's at least over 1,000. Far beyond the lifespan of any Numenorian or even normal Gondorian, for that matter.
Ah, so he's probably no longer just a Numenorian.
I suspect he is something else entirely at this point, but exactly what that is, I do not know. There are several accounts of him at various battles and major events in history where he was either an advisor or a diplomat, and at sometimes a lieutenant of the Dark Lord himself. He was usually dispatched as a diplomat to various districts, provinces, and even strongholds with a host at his back, but negotiated, demanded, and for the most part got a lot of individuals to do what he wished. This eventually earned him knowing the moniker, the Mouth of Sauron.
The Mouth of Sauron.
Yes. Someone who speaks for the Dark Lord, and his words are his own.
Sauron sounds familiar, right? Would any normal person have that knowledge? Ish?
Go ahead and give me a history check.
Oh,
Because you've lived a very sheltered life.
I have. But
Yeah,
I'm educated.
The elves definitely touched on it. Thranduil's realm definitely spoke of it in the Battle of the Last Alliance in great detail, in particular. But a lot of what transpired in the earlier conflicts. So yeah, you would be aware of him. I was basically looking for a natural one to see how sheltered you were.
Oh, okay.
That's fair. That's fair. That title does not bode well. I'm glad someone did not fight him.
Did you actually try to fight him?
Well, we attacked his outpost while he was there. Albeit we didn't know he was there when we attacked it.
Cirion's just gonna go.
I was able to.
Cirion.
I was able to negotiate, essentially, a way out for us that didn't result in anyone dying.
Consider yourselves very lucky. Based on historical records, Mordu typically prefers to use words over actions, but when need be, he is not somebody to be trifled with in a fight.
Hear that, kid? No trifling.
Cirion's just gonna cross his arms, look the other way.
No fighting.
Just no fucking fighting. No fucking fighting. No fucking fighting. Mordu walks in, just pushes him. Get out of the way.
But that appears to be suspicions confirmed who seems to be at the helm of this. I don't even know what to call this. Conspiracy, plots. I don't even fully know what is being done. I don't know his plans. All I'm aware is that his name has been referenced in communications that you have handed me. In that tome in particular. You have run into him now in the region of Lebanon. So to know that he might be very well the one behind this does not sit well with me.
Or I.
I think he even blatantly said that he meant to thank us for the work we did.
You're correct. That reminds me. Back to what Malvhor said earlier about being in the right place at the right time and why he was thanking you. Mordu, based on correspondence intercepted by some of the rangers out in Nithilion that I've been privy to, much to their dismay and probably beyond my pay grade, quite honestly. But there appears to be a bit of a disagreement between some of the factions that reside east of the Anduin River, and particularly Mordor and Minas Morgul. What you encountered in Osgiliath sounds more or less to be premature. A fringe element of whatever Mordu is plotting attempted to jump the bow, if you will, if you pardon the expression.
Jump the bow, meaning they're not with him? Or they're doing their own thing?
Meaning they attempted to complete something earlier than intended to get in his good graces.
Mm.
And we don't unfortunately know what that something was, but you, being in the right place at the right time to clean up that mess, apparently was a favor for him. So I don't know what might have happened had you not been there, but had it happened, he would not have been happy about it.
So it doesn't sound like whatever he's planning, he doesn't want it rushed or anyone to go off on their own. Do you think there's a timetable to his plan? Did anything in that tome mention?
Or find other factions that might be acting too rashly, like what we've run into.
That's a good question, Cirion. Unfortunately, I don't have a timetable. We have various bits and pieces of what he might be planning that we unfortunately have to piece together. Fig, to your point about various factions, Mordor and the east of the Anduin are filled with them. After Sauron's defeat, most of the orcs and Uruks under his banner, if they did not flock to the Witch King himself, formed various tribes and essentially act on their own. From what we understand, the orcs and goblins that resided in the mines were one such tribe that did not align themselves with the Witch King, may not have aligned themselves with Mordu, we're not sure. And I'm sure you may have heard the rumors of various orcs and uruks fighting each other along the road. This is because the Witch King and Mordu are not currently seen eye to eye either.
Oh.
There appears to be strife within the enemy's ranks, and we may very well use this to our advantage.
Yeah. Don't know exactly how we would manage that quite yet.
We know... Go ahead.
I'm thinking. Sorry.
Do not ever apologize for thinking. It is a skill set that very few actually have. I encourage it, in fact. We know very few for fact. And we operate currently on a vast bit of assumptions based on what we've seen, what we've obtained, and what we believe.
We know very few factions? Is that what you mean?
Facts.
Oh,
Facts.
facts. Sorry.
Yeah. Things believed to be true.
Gotcha.
Based on what we found beneath... I apologize, I wasn't there. Based on what you found and what you've told me beneath Osgiliath, we believe that the end goal is some sort of ritual, which is what was conducted prematurely beneath the city. This ritual, though, is still in the process of being translated, I hope. I'm not sure if I'm reading the ritual itself or merely writings about it. But it is to either bind something to this world or summon something forth or call it. We're not sure. Regardless, whatever the enemy seeks to bring to this world probably does not bode well for those that reside here.
No, it does
Perhaps that's why the blood is needed. Or the ritual.
I enjoy your spunk, Fig, and I love your keeping up with this. Unfortunately, no, the blood is for something else.
That was like a teacher like, I love the energy, but you're 100% wrong.
not. Oh, that's so
I give you
close, but that's a
gold star for
shame.
effort. Yeah, like, ooh, not quite. Fig's just like, I'm gonna get a cat now. Screw you guys.
Hear that one kid in the back? Dumbass.
Tangentially, that might be true. It does play into their plans in some shape or form with this ritual. Unfortunately, we're not quite sure what. And the bulk of my notes, and even some of what might have been confiscated from the fight, or even discovered, still resides in Osgiliath.
So, I don't know if you have a course of action in mind already, Rador. But two things come to my mind. Basically, what we need is more information. We don't have enough information to act. The only two ways I see of obtaining more information is finding another one of these hideouts that Mordu is using, or recovering your documents from Osgiliath.
Correct. If you would... Information is always an ideal thing to be had. It is a treasure, for sure. To know what our enemy plans, to know where they are, and what they want, are all things that can benefit us in the long term.
Could there be any similarities with the first two locations, the mine and the cave? The fact that they're by cities full of a population, or maybe we can go back to where we saved Merwin and investigate.
Could definitely do that. I'm not sure who Merwin is, though. There's a few things to your point, Malvhor, that we could go for and endeavor. More information is always good. Whether it's investigation here in Pelagia, back into the caves, the mines, or returning to Osgiliath to retrieve my research. But there's one other thing that I was able to discern in a few of the notes while translating prior to being denied re-entry to Osgiliath. The ritual does have requirements. And from my understanding, a suitable location is one. So Fig, to your point, you might very well be correct. There could be something about those locations that provides the components that they need. The other thing is that the ritual actually requires material components, several in fact, and that the enemy is actually, as we speak, searching for such components. Unfortunately, they know what they're searching for. We do not.
Would those components be in in the notes in Osgiliath?
They could very well reside within it untranslated, and that might take time. But
my lord, what about that cave?
Which cave?
The cave,
Where you almost fought Mordu?
No, not that one. The cave, with the material. I forget the name of it right now off the top of my head.
The Dark Ore. So from the mine.
Yeah, the Dark Ore. Yeah, the Dark Ore at the mine. Would that potentially be some of the material they're looking for?
You are again correct. A bit of drawing out the narrative here. One of the components that they require does involve a structure, which of course requires building material. This is what we believe that the Dark Ore interest is for. The size and vastness of this structure, we're not quite sure. We don't know how much they need. For all we know, they have what they need. And we should constantly operate under the assumption that we are one step behind.
Well, we somewhat know what they're planning. We somewhat know what they need. How can we get more information?
Can we research these kind of rituals and look at components required and potentially start from there?
Unfortunately, you can certainly try, is what I should say. Unfortunately, the vastness of Gondor and Arnor, the records don't tend to have much in the ways of ritualistic and the magical, if you will. Mostly elves do keep a prominent bit of that. But to my knowledge, and I'll be honest, my knowledge of the elves is a bit lacking. The sorcerers that were sort of trained under Sauron are probably ones that would be most interesting to, I'll say, talk to. Finding records on such rituals may bear fruitless.
Do you have a recommended course of action?
I would prefer the retrieval of my notes and research. Feel like that would get us the furthest that what we need, and if we are believing that Turgon is not on our side, then he may very well be hiding something within one of the guard posts within the city. We might find more information there. Otherwise, there's a vastness of other areas we can search. The mines, this cave you spoke of, where you actually encountered the individual. Pelagir itself is a bit of a crossroads, cross river, if you will, between the north of Minas Tirith and Osgiliath and the south of those willing to trade from Umbar. And several unsavory individuals tend to come up from the south, unfortunately. So we may also find information here, though it might not be information tied to the event. It could just be disproportionate, disassociated.
I think if we have a shot at stopping this ritual, I think we have to figure out what components they need.
I agree.
Try to deny at least one of those key components to them.
I also think we should look up what kind of time frame they're on. If they don't want to be jumping the bow or anything, we want to make sure how much time do we have to be quick? Can we take our time and methodically plan?
More information would be good. Malvhor, I agree with you that we need to find what these components might be, and if we can obtain and secure them before the enemy can, then we might very well be ahead of the game.
At the very least, if we can find areas where they've hit based on the components they need, we might be able to trace their movements better and find out, and eventually trace to where they are operating from.
It's true.
But
From what I could hear and tell, they've abandoned Osgiliath. The ones that were there, quite honestly, I believe you killed. So I think the enemy has ultimately given up on that as a site for now, unless we determine Turgon is actually a part of this conspiracy. Which we should probably assume that he is until proven otherwise.
Regardless if he is or isn't, he's wittingly or unwittingly our foe for the time. Well, to be honest, I wasn't expecting to even be thinking about going back to Osgiliath, back to the Wolf's Den so soon.
Everybody likes a comeback.
I don't know if that's wise, though.
It seems to be the best way to get the information we need. I don't think returning to either of the locations we've been will aid us, because we've already investigated them. And I'm sure, for example, the cave where we found Mordu, I'm sure they've already cleaned up anything that might leave traces of where they've gone or what they're doing. Because enough time has passed since we've been there. Besides that, the only other option I see, if you don't want to go back to Osgiliath, it would seem like it would take longer, but we could do some digging here in Pelagia and see if we can turn anything up. But that feels like a...
I don't know, it feels like the information here might be limited.
I agree, Cirion. I agree.
I don't want to go back to the city either, but this is something that we need to do. Concerns, comments, companions?
Oh, lots of concerns.
Yes, many concerns.
I know there's lots of...
The advantage, an advantage to going to Osgiliath, though, is we get out from Rador's nose for a time. I think it would take him some time to track us back there.
Please let him follow me. I mean, yeah, that's a good idea. I wasn't saying that in character.
I mean, if you want, you could just turn yourself over to him, and he'll take you to Osgiliath, I imagine.
If we're not careful, he could follow and then warn others back at home.
He could if we're not careful. It might be best to try and depart Pelagia on a ship going upriver, or on a boat going upriver. I don't know how many boats go up and down the river, but it's a river city. Like, they're known for boats here, so I imagine some must. It would be harder to track us if we took a boat upriver, is what I'm saying.
So where do you propose we get a boat?
I don't know. There is the Maritime Guild. They are looking at... I did recently hear that the Maritime Guild may be looking for privateers to aid them on contracts. It's a question of what those contracts are, if any of them go in a direction that would be helpful to us.
If you want to operate on time, going upriver on boat would actually slow your travel.
We could just always, you know, try our best to hide our tracks as we travel, or if we find a merchant traveling north for any reason, we could see if we could ride with them. We could exchange our services as a form of security, and what we gain from it is, you know, hiding in a group, more or less. What do we think? The downside to traveling with other people is we have to operate on their timetable. If we travel alone, we can strike out soon, and when we choose to.
Where could your notes be in Osgiliath?
And most likely right where I left them, which would probably be in the former king's house.
They would not be taken.
It's hard for me to say. I haven't been back into the city since I left. If they took them, then they would probably reside with either in Turgon's office or in the warehouse, something under armed guard, or they're just within the house itself. I do not know what's transpired within the walls. But I will at least start at the king's house.
Oh, and hopefully, it's just, we go in, we get the notes from the king's house, and we leave.
That would be ideal.
In a perfect world.
How far is Osgiliath? Osgiliath? It's 9 days, right? My brain.
9 days walk on foot.
Okay.
What about by car? Okay.
By car, it goes straight into the ocean and you die.
Oh. Alright, so I'm gonna go rent a car in Pelagir.
The place we rescued Merwin, that was like 3 days?
It's 3 days walk, yeah.
Okay.
Horseback is half the time. Boat depends on the current.
I think we gotta go to Osgiliath.
I do too.
I don't like it, but I do agree. I believe it's the best thing we have.
Rador.
Yes.
Do you have any discretionary funding for an excursion such as this?
Discretionary funding.
What are you requiring?
I have 3 copper. I need if we're gonna make a journey like this, I need food. I will need rations to make it. Doesn't need to be a large sum, but just enough for supplies.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Ooh, let's see how good I am at. I mean, I have a plus 11.
16.
Ouchies.
With a plus 11, okay.
I
think I just saw Matt go, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine.
He picks up the sort of dark brown and black cat that's been on his lap this whole time and places it down to the side and pulls up a small satchel that's by his by the chair. Well, based on what we've gotten ourselves into, it would behoove me to further the fundage to get this moving along. As he plates down a small leather bag on the table and slides it over to you. Take that. That's for the whole of the group. Use it to whatever you need, whether obtain transportation, rations, lodging, whatever you need. Make sure you return here in one piece. We can discuss next steps from there.
There is
Rador.
one thing I can also do tonight. Malvhor and Cirion have seen me do this. You have not, but I can travel in a different form, so to speak, and I can travel faster and check where we saw Merwin.
So you can choose when you become a bear?
No, it's...
She can become a bear?
I know, it's wild, isn't it? Because she used it to help break us out. And we haven't
You see
seen
this
it ever
utter
since.
look of like confusion and awe at the same time.
No, it's
So,
only
how do you think
at
we-
night.
How do you think we got out of jail?
Oh,
It's not. It's only at night, and it's more of a
Full moon, werebear.
no, like a dream-like state. My body would stay here, but I can.
wait.
This is complicated.
I'm even more
Everything-
confused now.
Fascinating.
It would make more sense to me for your body to physically turn into a bear, but you're telling me you go to sleep and a bear appears?
That's why I was able to finish helping with the breakout shortly after the bear disappeared, because it was me, but not at the same time.
Can your body move
complicated.
when you're controlling this bear? When you...
I have no idea. You can check.
How big of a bear are we talking about? Could it, like, fit 4 people on its
The
back?
bear. It's a bear.
I mean, you got small bears, you got big bears.
I'm a bear. I'm a bear.
It's been like a
I'm
month.
bear.
It's been like a month. I don't remember how big this bear is.
It's a
I just love the
brown
Gar's reaction
bear.
at the time.
an adult
What is
brown bear.
I mean, that might be a clever way to cover our tracks as we leave.
Well, I was thinking of using it to double check where we found Merwin. Make sure nothing's there, and then I can be back by sunrise.
Okay. I mean, I have no qualms about if your physical body stays here. I don't see a problem with that. I am still utterly confused and baffled.
Well, we can all just hang out here at night and let Vig do. I'm just gonna kind of say a few bear things.
I can start right now if you want. Wait,
I mean, I can barely believe this.
I might have to start.
Do we have the
outside.
bear necessities?
Wait. I can't. I need to start outside the city. I don't think a bear can just poof in the middle of the city without
Why-
a problem.
Why not?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no. So, the more you describe this,
Hold up.
Fig, the more you describe it, the more confused I get.
I've done it once.
That's fair. You've
still
only done it
learning.
once. You're still learning. We're all learning together. Don't try it till you get out of the city. How much gold is in here?
Yeah. 20 gold.
I'm rich again. I'm rich again. It's like, oh, it's gonna be gone like poof.
That's for the entirety of the party, Malvhor. I'm funding this.
Yes.
Your,
We all need
your
food.
Fellowship. So it sounds like in the morrow you'll depart for Osgiliath again, in whatever means of transportation you wish to pursue.
Yeah,
That
we'll
sounds
cover
about
your
right.
notes, and we'll plan to meet back up here. We can't give you a timetable how long it'll take us,
I
because
understand.
yeah.
I will either be residing here within the parlor with Dorsey, or I will be nose deep at the Hall of Records. I'm sure there's Hall of Lore. I'm sure there's something I can turn up in the interim, whether it's related to the current situation or fun knowledge for me.
Well, as long as you're in the city, we'll be able to find you.
I'd have no intentions of leaving the city currently. At least not until you return. Perhaps when you return, we might have information that might pull me in another direction, but as of right now, I shall remain.
Excellent. Well, it is late. This has been quite an enlightening discussion. But I need to get some sleep.
I really want to do the bear thing, but it's not going to last in the city.
Understandable, Malvhor. Do any of you have any further questions from me or anything you wish to discuss before we retire for the evening?
Nah, I think we got the gist of it. I would like to find any potential notes while we're there on if we can get in the captain's office or anything, but who knows what kind of sneaky we'll be, or if we can even get in.
Ideally, we don't even get near the captain's office.
Well, whatever you wish to accomplish on your own accord is up to you. I just ask that you return with my research at the very least to at least point us in the next direction.
That works.
Whatever you wish to do within the city beyond that is your business, and I'll leave you to it.
Okay.
Very well. If there's nothing else you need of me, I will bid you all good night and safe travels. I do hope to see you in some time eventually, and upon your return. If I hear news otherwise, I will have to explore alternate routes to achieve this.
His
Good luck.
demeanor, like, right now, Rador, is he seeming, like, relaxed that we're gonna go find his notes, or is there maybe anything underlying? Like, suspicious?
Give me an insight check.
I trust him implicitly. He will never betray us.
15.
15?
Straight 15. Heyo.
Can't hear you.
Heyo. Now I'm trying to think, like,
listeners?
I'm trying to think now, how do we enter Osgiliath once we get there?
I
Cause...
can distract as bear again. That worked for the first time, right? Oh, hello.
Are you muted?
No.
Mute yourself.
Cause it's under...
I love the mute yourself.
It's under martial law, so all the ins and outs are gonna be heavily guided.
Yeah.
We could try
Maybe.
coming in through the river, cause that
Or
cuts.
we can always ask if we knew like any like secret entrances or exits.
I mean,
like,
there's the
ones not-
sewers we did before.
Yeah, we could revisit those.
It was a little bit of a pain to go through there, but it might be the best way to get in and out. And we do have a safe house. Wynn's in the city, as far as I know. So we're not gonna be full of enemies.
Alright, hear me out. Someone, maybe, no, Nick might kill me if I have Locke do this. Someone can guard my body just at the outskirt of the gate, and I can go bear and go out.
How about you wait until we're like a day on our journey?
I love how Matt essentially told you to calm the fuck down.
Because they're both north, right?
Yes, they're both north.
That's actually, there you go. That's a good idea. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I just don't want you. I don't want you to become a bear, summon a bear in the city and cause a ruckus.
No. Once I started thinking about this idea, I was like, hold up a second. I'm about to get Osgiliath.
Like, where does the bear? Where does the bear come from?
Mechanically speaking.
I'm asking as Malvhor.
Fig will just shrug and just kind of.
So you have this strange magic to make bears apparate from nothing.
No, I know I am the bear, but my body remains. It's complicated. Everyone, I think, knows now I'm complicated.
Yes, we all.
Well,
I think we're all complicated.
If there's nothing more you need of me, as he sort of picks up the one cat and like cuddles it in his arms. Come along, Gia. I will be retiring for the night. If there's anything you need of me before you depart, please let me know. Otherwise, good luck. As he sort of stands up from the table and
Chip
begins to
and
walk
gear.
out.
Okay, well, we should collect supplies on the morrow, and honestly, probably leave as soon as we can. The longer we dally, the longer this is going to take, and it gives Rador a greater chance of finding us. The further we can get away from him, the sooner. I think it might work better too. It might work well for us if we do eventually draw him out, as long as we have a nice, healthy lead on him.
You can lie again too about where we're going.
I could spread some rumors at the pier.
We rest then.
We rest.
And then
Tomorrow we prepare to leave.
we go.
At dawn, we leave.
At dawn we shop.
And then we leave.
I really like the idea of going to the pier to spread misdirection and rumor.
I like that too.
So I will be doing that tomorrow.
Oh, funsies. Well then, do you want us to grab the money you just got and we can just shop for all of us while you do that? Save
All
our
I
time?
need, all I need is rations, right?
Sounds good.
I'm gonna give the money to Cirion, because Fig doesn't like handling money.
I don't care for money.
So you can add 20 gold to your inventory, Cirion.
Okie dokie. Gotta remember, did this.
Malvhor is 3 copper, is handed 20, immediately gives the 20 over to Cirion.
Oh, money! Here you go.
I trust the kid.
Cirion then vanishes on the most beautiful stallion you've ever seen in a gold cloak.
Guard of the Citadel, indeed.
Suckers.
There are horses within the city that you can obtain. So you can get your stallion.
I can just
If you so
ask
choose.
Goldwyn very nicely. I'm sure she'll give me one.
Maybe. We'll
Maybe.
see. She runs
Call
a
it-
business.
Call it platinum, and it steals like great.
Steel! I'm never gonna live down steel.
Great grandparent.
Alright, so is there anything you guys wish to do before retiring for the evening?
Not tonight.
Big?
I think I will actually use an hour before sleeping to use my meditation thing.
Oh, okay. Alright.
Because why not?
So you're gonna forego the bear sleep.
No, bear sleep another day.
Jeez, we're gonna just sit on this ability forever.
No. Oh, you weren't downstairs. I'm gonna use it a little later
Okay. Alright.
while we're out and about.
Okay.
Oot in a boot.
Oot and ooting.
An ooting. Yes, an ooting indeed.
Yay, my
Alright.
face.
Cirion, is there anything you're gonna do before the night ends?
Nope.
Okay. Okay, Fig. Before you retire for the evening, you and Locke return to your room, and you sort of sit off facing the window in like sort of a meditative state to focus in on questions you have, thoughts and feelings, to see if something's guiding you in one direction or giving you any sort of indication of what might be transpiring. Go ahead and give me a meditation check.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out which question to ask.
21!
That's
Hit me.
What's your questions?
blackjack. That's it. Well, I can only do one, right? A particular question, problem, location, or individual. Which one do I want? Oh, wait!
You may ask 3 questions.
You can ask 3 questions. Oh!
It's
okay.
It's essentially research lore outside of a fellowship phase.
Okay.
Only you get your answers through a spiritual manner, which may be even more cryptic than actually researching.
Right. So, I first am concentrating on, the notes and
Notes, okay.
the concern kind of sits within me of if they're even if they're even there where Rador had first mentioned, if we'll even find them then in Osgiliath.
Okay. Let me read your ability real quick.
Oh, is that too?
I'm leaning towards that's way too specific to know if something resides where it once was.
Oh, okay.
To the point where it's like there's, but I mean we'll let's see. I'm reading it real quick.
I mean, she's just focusing on the notes because she's just concerned if we'll find them there.
Right. So the spirit, pun intended, of the ability is to reflect on a question you have that might be plaguing you, or a particular problem, or some sort of like, it's almost like to solve like a riddle of sorts, asking where something, it's not a like locate object spell. So to like ask if this still resides there, that probably is not gonna work.
Okay, well, I mean, the what's plaguing right now, she's uneasy right now about the fact they're going back to Osgiliath. She's afraid of it being like a trap. She's afraid of it just them getting caught. She's afraid of not finding the note. So she's just afraid of failing in Osgiliath, if that is more vague enough and helps.
Okay, so you're trying to focus on what might be a dangerous route?
I guess within the city? Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to phrase the question now since I was too specific and being
well,
vague.
so I'm not saying you were, I don't mean you were too specific. I mean you were asking for like the location of an object where it once was. Not like you don't have like a riddle and clues as to where Rivendell might be, sort of thing. The last time you used it, used it to reflect on an encounter you had in the past and sussed out that somebody was lying to you.
Right. Oh.
Versus, like, I'm basically saying you can't locate an object. It's not what it does.
So
unless you're using it to determine whether or not an object you lost was misplaced, like you found it left somewhere or something like that. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay.
That doesn't make sense, I can tell.
Give me all the answers.
Yeah, really. Alright, well, I mean, if anything, I'm focusing on Osgiliath as a whole, because I'm just concerned of going back there.
Okay.
So... What am I trying to ascertain? I'm trying to ascertain a lot.
Will we die if we go to Osgiliath?
Yeah, basically. Like, yeah,
Do you... I have some questions I'd like to know about Osgiliath, but I don't know if I can help you, or if you want help. No ideas.
No, because I think technically you guys went to bed. So if I'm focusing on one thing, but then it says I can ask 3 questions, how does that work?
So you can focus on a particular question, problem, location, or individual. And then you can ask 3 questions regarding that topic that you're focused on.
Okay.
So it sounds like so far that when you sit down to meditate, you focus on the city of Osgiliath itself.
Yeah.
So what 3 questions would you like to essentially ask about the location?
I think now I'm overly confused, and this might have been a bad idea.
Okay, what has you confused?
Well, the first thing I forgot like half of my questions now already. But the first I guess I just want to know if it's safe going there, or if we can make it safe for us, like, and not get caught.
Okay. So you focus in on the city, and you almost have like a distant bird's eye view of the city, and you see foot traffic, almost like little ants moving between villages that are on the outskirts of the actual city, between that Minas Tirith and Osgiliath, and some boats going up and down river, and your vision sort of like elongates, almost tunnel-like, and you get snapped into like around the river near the wharfs, and you see several fishing boats and merchant ships coming into port, and you see as they throw out the ropes to be sort of reeled into the docks, you see several Gondorian guards come up along and meticulously inspecting each boat that seems to be coming in. Your vision sort of snaps back out and shifts around to the other side of the city and focuses on one of the gates that seems to have heavy foot traffic coming in from Athelion, oddly enough, and a wagon every now and again. And it almost seems to be a bit of a long line to enter as each guard sort of stops and inspects every single person coming through, in and out. Your vision snaps back out and comes back around, and you sort of focus in on a familiar space, and that was the way you guys exited.
Kevin and I discussed, while you had your headphones off, Kevin and I did discuss using the sewers just to get back in.
Oh, okay.
Potentially, yeah.
I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking.
No, you're good.
You also weren't listening because your headphones were off because you're getting whispers.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's just kill all the guards in Osgiliath. What could go wrong?
No. Okay.
It's not.
That helps.
Yeah, 2 more questions.
Oh.
I mean, you don't have to ask them.
I can't hone in on anything specific, right, inside the city at this rate, because I targeted the city.
Depends on the nature of the question. Like, if you're trying to locate like a specific object, no.
No, I guess not. Where did Rador say the notes might be?
The former House of the King, where you guys met with him before and had a discussion.
Can I think about that location and see what happens?
Well, what's your question?
What's seen? Oh,
Can't shift location, topic, or anything like that.
So I guess on the same idea of the first question, like, is it heavily guarded there too? Is that a thing?
You see a bit heavier guard presence in the streets of Osgiliath. That doesn't seem to be what you recall when you were there. You can't get a good indication of sort of specific locations, but the guard presence just seems to be heavier.
Okay. So we're just actively being looked for then, is what it... Or are we?
I always feel like somebody's watching
That
me.
could be another question.
Can it be? Are there, like, wanted posters?
Lots of thinking, lots of thoughts.
I'll allow it if that's your question.
Yeah.
You want to know if the city of Osgiliath is actively looking for you?
Within the
Or
walls.
if there's like wanted posters or...
Yeah. The former. A general of... Are we being searched?
You caught glimpses of when you were focused in on entry points and the guards sort of inspecting and questioning that off to like behind on some of the walls were a few posters that bared blurred resemblance but of some of your companions.
Three. So, of the companions, me too, or...
They're blurred, but you do see posters.
Okay.
Better have got to my good angle.
Alright, good enough. I'm a sweep. I just...
Okay.
I finish my meditation, I pet some cats, and I just fluff up the pillows and blankets that I have on the floor, and then take off my armor and just go blah, and fall asleep.
All right. Y'all all head off for the night, and soon enough, the next day comes. The sun rises, and if you expended anything the night before, you do have a long rest, so you can take that back. Which I know Fig's meditation is one such thing. But the day is yours. The sun has breathed life into Peligir this morning. What would you like to do?
Well, you all are shopping for food.
Yes.
I think we should meet up at Goldwyn's and depart from there because it's already outside the city.
Okay. That's fair. Then,
And we've already, Cirion already paid for 3 months with Dorsey, so we're good.
2 months, yeah. Alright. We will go get rations. You do your
I
thing.
am gonna go spread some rumors.
Okay. Fig and Cirion. And so the two of you head off to sort of the market area in the West Garth? Or are you looking for something else?
I thought we were sending to the market area and getting rations.
Oh, that's what I'm asking.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Sorry,
Oh, okay.
I was typing notes.
I'm not the
good.
players. I need to know.
No,
what you're
I
doing.
just thought that was said. That was decided, so that's what we're gonna go do real quick. Sorry.
Okay. You guys head over there. One of you can give an investigation check at advantage, or both of you can give investigation checks.
You
How's
can
your investigation?
Go for it.
Yeah, then yours sucks. I got it.
It's a 0.
At advantage.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah, you get to roll again.
Oh yeah. Well, I was waiting to hear what you said first before I did anything.
Oh.
Be like, I have a 9 modifier.
No.
Dirty 20.
20. You guys head over towards the market area in the West Garth, and the vendor selection is a bit sparse this morning. It has seemed to have thinned out over the last few days. But there are some individuals with their tents up in their storefronts, peddling their wares. And as you're walking through, looking for somebody who's, selling things that might be of interest of you, rations, traveling material, nothing like carpets, tapestries, jewelry. You do eventually come over to a small sort of storefront vendor that is sitting on a rug. There's no table, there's no tent. It's just like sort of a matted rug that he's sitting on, like a small pillow beneath him, and there's a satchel next to him, and there's just various objects sort of splayed out. But you do catch rations at the corner of your eye as you're passing, sort of hidden amongst everything else. And as you look over, you recognize the individual as the merchant that you came across on your way to finding the tea leaves. More.
Dad.
All right, I'm gonna walk up to him.
Yes, good morning. Familiar lot. It's good to see you
Long
made
time
your
no
way
see.
back to the city. Yes, not too long. What can I do for you? I have several things of interest that might catch your eye.
What do you have as far as rations, food? Taking a little bit of a trip.
The boring stuff. Well, I have some.
Just
How
for
much are
now.
you looking for?
What are we looking for? How long we plan to be gone?
Well, Osgiliath is 9 days away. One way. So we'll need enough rations for the 4 of us to make that far, so we can do.
Don't know if he has that much.
Well, so I still have 7 rations somehow. So like,
That's how many do I have?
I don't know what you guys are like, but
I have
those who need it
6.
could like start with 5, or if you have more than 5, then I wouldn't get any, and then
Okay.
we can hunt for the rest.
Okay,
Unless-
so then I'll say, so Malvhor, how many rations do you have?
I think he needs some.
No
He's
shit.
not here.
Okay.
No.
Oh,
I was debating
okay.
on telling you how many rations I had, but we didn't discuss it before I left, so I'm not going to
Yeah.
tell
Okay.
you.
No, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Just get,
Okay.
get,
He's not
him
there.
Go for 10 rations for him and
Alright.
Locke. And if you
Okay.
want any more, then go for it. But I'm not. I'll abstain.
No, I'll be okay. Hopefully. Okay, so then I'll just say, well, 10 rations. They're available.
10 rations. I believe I may have whipped some of that up last night to top that number off. What do you have to trade, or are you dealing in coin today?
Trading coin.
Coin, very well. Let's see, let me just count my wares. I do have 15 rations if you wish to have a bit more, but 10 will run you. You know, typically it would run you 5 gold, but since you helped me out on the roads, I'll say 4.
Generous indeed. Then I'll give him 4 coins from the pouch that was given to us for our trip.
Excellent. Thank you. This will do wonders for my travels and continued supply of the things you see before you.
All right, now my curiosity is peaking a little bit. What are some of the other things that are before me?
Sweets?
Sweets?
Yeah.
You don't see any sweets.
Okay.
What do we
doesn't have any.
see?
He doesn't see any. He doesn't have any baked goods. He has various items of interest. There's some cloaks that are of more of light brown and sort of deep maroon colors.
Ooh.
There are a couple of like hand-woven bracelets and jewelry of almost wood-like or nature-esque sort of craft. And there's a couple of walking sticks that he has that appears to be like hand-carved to resemble that of a fallen branch, or even intricate artwork that appears to be like an ocean or telling of some sort of story. And then there's some smaller, like ornate daggers that he seems to have lying about. And he does have some like leather bags of sorts.
I'm gonna look a little more at the cloaks, and considering I just changed mine, I don't know if Fig has changed hers, or Malvhor did, or even Locke did. What I'm thinking of is potentially buying the cloaks, so we at least have some cover when we go to Osgiliath. We at least are covered up and protected, somewhat, like our identities.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, there's a sort of like a deep maroon cloak with a bit of like a gold trim. There's like several light tan ones that almost are reminiscent of like the color of like beach sand almost.
Mm-hmm.
Very light in terms of like heft. They don't seem like they're made for cold weather. And some even have sort of like built-in like cowls or scarves of sorts.
Ooh.
I think I'm gonna go with the light tan ones so we don't stick out majorly, and get the ones. I'm gonna get 3 of them, and at least get maybe 2. But if all 3 have like the scarves, or like a hood on them, I want to grab those.
So 3 tan.
Yes.
I want a cow hood.
Well, I just so happen to have 3 of these cowled sand cloaks. They do wonders to keep the wind and sort of the elements out of your face, but they're not much in terms of fashion. Believe me, I've seen some things beyond this city, and this is not one of the finer ones for sure. The maroon one, however, is definitely one of, well, somebody with taste, but you want the 3 tan ones. Very well. I can part with these for... Let's see here. You know what? We'll call it 2 gold.
I'll take 2 more gold out of the pouch that Rador gave us and plant it in his hand.
Oh, well, you seem to have obtained a decent amount and came here with a purpose. Burning a hole in your pocket, if you will.
A man on a mission, you may say.
Rightfully so.
And then I actually want to look at
This
one of those ornate daggers.
Didn't you just buy a dagger?
Shut up.
He's starting a collection.
Yeah.
Maybe I. Hey, I stopped after a little bit with Mace. No, I was just curious if it possibly does any. I was just curious if it possibly did any more damage to my normal dagger, or am I just being greedy?
Is Locke with you? I mean, you'd have to inspect the weapon.
I don't know. Did Locke come with us?
I don't know. We didn't. Say.
I don't. Yeah, I don't think we really said. So I'm gonna say no.
Maybe I don't know. What would he do?
Did he go with you, or did he go to
the old
Malvhor?
man? Would he go with the old man to make sure he doesn't get in trouble?
Yeah, I'm gonna say we did. I'm gonna say we split in half. He went with Malvhor, and Fig came with me.
Okay. Go ahead and just give me a wisdom check. See if you know anything about these daggers.
I almost gave a wisdom saving throw.
12. They appear to be finely made. Some of them are adorned in some jewels that sort of reflect back at you as the sun hits them just right. The blades themselves seem to be about like that thick, almost like a Bowie knife sort of length or width of the blade, and they go out maybe about 3 or 4 inches and then curve outwards or upwards, and they fit in sort of like a rectangular sheath almost. They look really nice, really expensive, but from what you can tell in terms of the craftsmanship, it's hard to tell. It probably is a normal dagger. It's probably more for looks.
Okay. Then I'll just kind of like leave it alone, just check it out like a window shopper, and I'll bid more farewell, wish him luck, and... Huh?
Well, I wanted to the fun nature-esque bracelets.
Go look. I'm just done with. I'm done with that. I'm just gonna bid him farewell. I didn't say we were. I said I am.
Oh, so you're gonna walk away from me?
No, I'm just gonna walk back and let you like kind of get in and look. So more, thank you. Pleasure as always. And I'll just swap spots with Fig. I'm just gonna check out the cloaks and everything while we're here, and the rations, and make sure we got everything we need while she's doing her thing.
You said they were nature-esque bracelets, right?
Mm-hmm. There seems to be ones that were sort of intricately woven vines to either wrap around a wrist or like a forearm. Some seem to be makeshift into like necklaces, and you see sort of green leaves budding out from them, and a couple of even like floral, sort of like white and pink flowers in certain areas, depending on which ones you look for. It's all manner of various floral patterns and nature, like hand woven jewelry of sorts. Some are bracelets, some are necklaces.
Okay. I will pick up 2 matching ones and look at more and just ask how much.
Oh, let's see. Oh, that was definitely hand woven by an old friend of mine. Tell you what, 6 silver.
I hate money.
As do I, but unfortunately is something this world has to have to get along at times. Unless, of course, you'll have something worthy of trade.
What will a spear do? Apparently I have a spear.
What will
Kill a man.
do?
No. How much will a spear get me?
Do you actually present the spear?
Yeah, I'll show him the spear. I don't know how I got this, but
It's
have
probably
it.
your starting gear.
Maybe.
He looks at it and grabs it, sort of like inspects it a little bit. Interesting craft. Definitely not from this region.
Unused.
I can tell that much. This almost appears to hail further north. Interesting. Unfortunately, it won't quite cover the trade for this bracelet. Do you have anything else that you would be willing to part with, or coin to supplement the trade?
How much will
This spear here is probably, I'd say it's worth about 3 silver.
I will hold up a belt dagger and a white water lily and see what happens.
Sweetening the pot. Oh, these will do perfectly. I do have a use for white water lily at times, and the belt dagger does have fine leather work behind it, so this will add to my collection. That if it doesn't work here, as he puts it to the side and hands over. Did you grab a bracelet or a necklace?
Two bracelets.
2 bracelets? Okay. He hands them over to you. Here you go, dear. I hope they serve you well, and they will definitely work with your attire.
Oh, thank you. And
And you
then...
can... Go ahead.
Nope, go ahead.
Oh, you go ahead.
Oh, and I will look back at Cirion and give him a nod, and then look back at Moore and give him another nod and go, thanks for your help.
You're welcome. And as you're sort of walking away, safe travels and good luck with your endeavors.
You too.
Fig, you can check your inventory.
Huh? I bought bracelets.
Magic bracelets.
I had added them myself. Where'd they go?
Wonder Woman bracelets.
Should be under items.
You can block arrows.
That'd be cool as hell.
I don't see anything. Was it while I was adding it myself?
I don't know. What'd you add? Your
added...
inventory, your journal. Go to items under handouts.
Oh. Handouts. Handouts. Why don't I... Oh, here we go. Oh!
I try to keep things organized and no one can find shit.
Well, you said check your inventory, so I looked at my character sheet.
Yeah. All right, so the two of you wrap up your shopping and start heading off to Goldwyn's.
Yep.
Malvhor, you head over towards the pier.
Hold on.
Spread room. Holding.
Oh.
So while we're walking, I'm just gonna give Fig one of the cloaks I bought.
Oh, I added it to my inventory already. Thanks.
Okay. Well, I never said I gave it to you.
How many cloaks did you buy? How many cloaks
I bought
did you
3.
buy?
3.
Not 4?
No,
He
because I already
has
changed.
one.
Yeah, I already.
Oh, right.
Yeah, because remember I went through a whole costume change and everything.
Yep. Okay.
I want honey cakes. I find sweets real quick. Real quick. Don't need to narrate it. I just want...
We'll handle the expenditure of that off screen.
Okay.
You will have to pay for those.
That's
We'll
fine.
trade
One
again.
gold coin for 1 honey cake.
So, I hope not. I think 1 silver got me 4, if I remember correctly. Or maybe a little
Malvhor.
more than that.
Yes.
You head on down to the pier.
Spread rumors.
To spread false rumors. How do you go about doing such things?
I mean, because the pier's hopping, right? There's a lot of people there.
Most of the day.
I'm just going to... Okay, first off, how much is a drink going to cost me? Because I'm poor again.
That's not my fault. I had all this in front of me and then I put it away. An ale would be like 4 to 6 copper. Let's say 4 copper.
Okay, I have enough for that, but I'll be even more poor than I was before.
Okay.
So I will buy myself an ale, and that's all about money I have for, just so I kind of fit in. And I'm just going to wield my social prowess to go from essentially, it's gonna take time to do this, and it's similar to an ability I have, but it's kind of in reverse, right? Because I have an ability called Ever Watchful, where if I'm freely able to travel an area and talk with locals, I can make investigation check with advantage to hear rumors. But I don't want to hear rumors. I want to do something similar, but to seed rumors. So I'm going to go from like group to group, making small talk, and the rumor I'm going to try and spread is I'm going to try and spread the rumor that I heard some people who were fleeing from Osgiliath came through town, but kept going south with a Southlander to Umbar.
Okay.
That's the rumor I'm trying to spread.
Go ahead and give me a deception check. $23.
That's pretty good.
You spend a better part of the morning seeding these rumors strategically at various places around the docks, not just within the pier, the tavern itself, but within the docks, around the Maritime Guild, places where people will travel and spread.
Yeah.
And try and sort of populate this as best you can. Most of the individuals you end up encountering are either hard at work or 3 sheets into the wind. So some are very eager to like clasp onto this bit of information and listen to it. Some are sort of dismiss it like they're not interested in idle gossip. But you get the feeling that you've deeply seeded a false rumor.
Good. Good. Now, Baradul, leave us alone. We'll see what comes of that.
We'll definitely see if that transpires into anything. Is there anything else you wish to do?
No, I mean, that was pretty much it. I was going to go to Goldwyn's afterwards.
Okay. So you head off towards Goldwyn's once you wrap up your one errand, mostly, and to meet up with the rest of your party and make your trek back out towards Osgiliath, and that's where we're going to take a break.
Heyo!
So we will be right back.
Hail, adventurer! Are you a dungeon master with a desire to transport your players to fantastical settings? Perhaps they are deep in the dungeon of a mad lich.
Fools, you have intervened for the last time. Let's see you survive my fireball.
Or perhaps the party has just come across bandits, and the Goliath monk releases a flurry of blows and a stunning strike to gain control of the conflict. Nice rolls on the attack. Or maybe the party is taking a breather after another difficult quest. If this sounds like something you want at your next TTRPG session, then head over to battlebards.com. By subscribing to BattleBards Prime, you get the ability to immerse your players in your campaign. You'll get complete streaming access to the libraries of both BattleBards and Platemail games. And whether your game is in person or virtual, you won't be limited as you will have access to a caster and a mixer to be able to broadcast the tracks to all of your players. And of course, if you want to download and keep any tracks, then you get 20% off all in-store purchases. So what are you waiting for, adventurer? A quest posting at the local guild hall? Get over to battlebards.com and subscribe today, and use the coupon code ADVENTURE at checkout. Stay proficient, adventurers. Hail, adventurer. Are you a dungeon master with a desire to transport your players to fantastical settings? Perhaps they are deep in the dungeon of a mad lich.
Fools, you have intervened for the last time. Let's see you survive my fireball.
Or perhaps the party has just come across bandits, and the Goliath monk releases a flurry of blows and a stunning strike to gain control of the conflict. Nice rolls on the attack. Or maybe the party is taking a breather after another difficult quest. If this sounds like something you want at your next ttrpg session, then head over to battlebards.com. By subscribing to BattleBards Prime, you get the ability to immerse your players in your campaign. You'll get complete streaming access to the libraries of both BattleBards and Platemail games. And whether your game is in person or virtual, you won't be limited, as you will have access to a caster and a mixer to be able to broadcast the tracks to all of your players. And of course, if you want to download and keep any tracks, then you get 20% off all in-store purchases. So what are you waiting for, adventurer? A quest posting at the local guild hall? Get over to battlebards.com and subscribe today, and use the coupon code ADVENTURE at checkout. Stay proficient, adventurers. And we're back. One! You said you wanted one!
I said I wanted 4.
No, you said one!
I said honey cakes.
Plural gives me the exact amount you're looking for.
I want 6 honey cakes.
Welcome back, everyone. We're already arguing. You want how many?
6.
For fuck's sake, do math. 6 times 3.
12. No.
Yeah.
I don't want to math. That was bad.
To be fair, 12 did pop in my head because I was already thinking a dozen. So
I gave you all a currency calculator to ease this, and I'm the only one using it.
I use it. I'm the one who pulls it up in chat.
So it's 18 copper, but 12 coppers and 1 silver. I only have 1 silver, so 4 it is. I'm officially.
I mean, I think we have like 13 gold left over, but
4 honey cakes. I eat 1 immediately.
You get a stomach ache.
What?
the DM has spoken.
Batch. It was a bad batch.
We have 14 gold left over.
Oh, so close. I didn't even do the math. I just guessed.
All right. So 4 of you reconvene at Goldwyn's ranch. What would you like to do?
Oh, I mean, are we ready? Is this everything? And I spread rumors, so at the very least, it should keep people busy, whether they follow them or not, which should buy us time if we go now.
Well, Malvhor, first take this, and I'm going to throw him another one of the cloak, and if Locke's there, I'm also going to throw him one of the cloaks I bought.
Locke is definitely there, unless you tell him to do literally anything else.
Just making sure, trying to set the environment, Jesus Christ.
Locke do 10 jumping
Christ
jacks.
is not here either.
We got you rations also, as you asked.
Yep.
5
for you and 5 for Locke.
What color cloak is this? Is it like beige?
It's like a tan.
A sandy beige, tan sort of vibe.
And it should have a scarf too, in case we need to makeshift a hood or something for your face.
And hide my glorious mug. Well, I do need to say goodbye to Goldwyn. I'm not gonna just...
We know what that means.
I'm not just gonna leave without letting her know.
I'm just gonna stare at Cirion. There's no time for that. I'll wait outside.
Yeah, I don't have enough. I don't nearly
quick.
have enough time to cook a full meal right now, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna go chill outside then. Make sure all my equipment is set.
If he even tries to do that, he might have a heart attack and die. He's so old.
But yeah, I'll go in and see if Goldwyn's around. It is kind of the middle of the day, I think, so I don't know.
Yeah, she's inside, seemingly taking a break from training some of the horses. Sipping on a mug of water. Oh, good afternoon. What brings you by?
I just... Some important, an important task has fell in our lap. An advisor of the king has given us a task related to the orcs in the area. Unfortunately, it does require me to travel for a few days. So I'll be gone, but I'll be back. It's just a simple package we have to pick up and bring back here.
Where are you going?
Well, we're going back to Osgiliath. It needs to be done.
The very city that you fled from.
Yes, if we don't stop this, I don't know who will. And unfortunately, this seems to be the only course of action we can take right now.
Well, far be it from me to stop you. Is there anything you need?
I guess.
Wow.
My heart.
Very forward as ever. What?
I don't know how I can go on such a long journey without feeling your warm embrace, Goldwyn.
Forever the poet. And she puts the mug down and embraces you. Be safe.
I've been safe for 50 years. I'll manage. And when I come back, I'll see about bringing you a souvenir. Maybe I can bring
souvenir from Osgiliath.
Something along the way. Who knows what I'll find? I might be able to bring Maywin or Laura back something as well.
Well, I will definitely be interested if you do. It's a 9 days journey from here. You have everything you need.
I trust my companions that they bought food for me. But I mean, I won't say no to anything you think would help me on the journey.
Well, I don't have food that's travel ready.
That's fair. That's fine. I trust my companions. The advisor gave us a bunch of gold to help buy food for us, so amongst other things.
Very well, if there's nothing you can think of that I can aid you in, then I wish you luck in a speedy return. Sounds like you'll be gone for 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah. And when I get back, I think I'll try my hand at making waffles.
What waffles?
It's a strange dish I picked up from some travelers from the north. It's an interesting type of pastry, I think. I don't know. I'll give it a shot.
I look forward to it. Well, you best be off then.
Take care, Goldwyn.
You as well.
And I'll step outside, and I'm ready to hit the road. Who knows where my feet will take me.
All right. 3 of you standing outside. Malvhor eventually returns. Probably no more than 15, 30 minutes pass. As you stand on the dirt path that sort of leads back out towards sort of the main road into Pelagia and then back out, seemingly split the farmlands and the rest of the homesteads that sit outside the city. You gaze out towards northward along the river, back in the direction that you came from some time ago, fleeing from whatever may have been looking or hunting for you in the interim.
Back to the wolf's den.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
I need rolls. Who's guide?
I think Locke usually takes that. I'm not taking it.
He usually takes it, but he's not here, so he only gets it if the rest of the group decide to give it to him.
My wisdom is 0, so I'm not taking
We
it.
volunteer Locke as tribute.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's Locke's task.
All right. Look out.
I think that's me. I'll take it.
No one wants to flex outside of their standard rolls.
We've seen what happens in our fucking campaigns when we do that shit.
I thought you were scout.
Me?
Yeah.
I thought that was Malvhor.
Am I mistaken?
I just fill whatever gap it is, and I think it's usually scout I fill, but I'm just here to fill the gap, right? I'm not good at any of these roles, so you 3 pick what you want, and I'll fill the gap.
Do
The
we
last
want to?
the last lookout was Cirion.
Maybe I can try
Do we
my hand
feel
at
like changing
hunting.
it up? Yeah, do we feel like changing it up a bit? I mean, because Locke is at least Locke's the better stealthy person and whatnot, I feel like.
You want me to be the guide?
I don't
I'll be
care.
the guide. Fuck it. I'll be the guide. Locke can be scout.
I think, because you're the one confident going back to Osgiliath, I guess.
I've made this trip many times.
We would know the trip,
Each
that's
time
true.
I abandon Goldwyn.
That.
Oh my.
Did it just become Mordor here? Because it got fucking dark.
No, this is how
Something-
this turns into a 10-year campaign.
Yeah, something bad's gonna happen, and I'm not gonna be able to make it back to Goldwyn. I'm going back. It's gonna be like 2 years later, and it's gonna be like I don't know how that. Anyway, I'm just gonna say I'm gonna be the guide because I can't risk being being too long away from Pelagia because I don't want to make Goldwyn worry again.
Alright, so Malvhor will be guide.
Yep, I have Cirion as lookout. Scout.
I think we should make Locke.
Locke scout, and then Cirion lookout.
I
Because you
guess,
still
yeah.
wanna hunt, Vig?
Fig's back to Hunter.
I can keep doing that. I don't care.
Well, I mean, I just
I just feel like
you just gotta make
I
a
just feel like-
choice.
yeah, That's fine. I'll hunt again. I just feel like our sneaky person should, be in the
Sneak.
sneaky role.
Sneaky,
Yeah.
sneaky.
Okay. So with the map that was entrusted to you by Wynn many moons ago of the region, Locke sort of hands it off to you, Malvhor. Don't get us lost. However, if you do, you would die before the rest of us, so we'll see what happens. You sort of unfurl it and shift it around and sort of get your bearings of where you are and sort of the destination of things. What sort of route do you wish to take to get back to Osgiliath?
Honestly, I think the easiest way to take would be just to follow the river. But I think I'm going to want to cross to the far side of the river. If that makes sense.
You want to cross the river?
If it's feasible to cross the river.
I mean, you can certainly try. It depends on where and how you want to cross it.
It almost looks like there's Yeah, you know what? I want to cross the river. I don't know how we're going to do it, but I want to cross that river. Make it harder for anyone following us.
Oh boy. That's
Where
fair.
the journey in your path do you plan on trying to cross the river?
It almost, so I want to follow I want to follow the river at Pelagir up to where it forks. Because then it forks and runs east. So instead of turning east there, I want to see if I can cross the river at that fork. Or as near the fork as possible.
Let me check the actual mechanical map with the hexes and everything that I shared with you guys.
I'm going to accidentally wander into a whole new region.
Because the hi viewers at home, the map that we have up is a very nice aesthetic one, and it doesn't yield too well when we start dipping into certain mechanics. And I don't have the mechanical one up here because I had to scan it because it's physical and it doesn't look nice. So, so just give me a second here. So Pelagir itself sort of sits on that fork of the rivers.
Yeah.
And it basically sits on the Anduin going up. There are main roads that stretch between here and sort of like the next stop, if you will, along the way. So you can follow the Anduin all the way up until you reach another fork, and then cross there, which might be about like 4 or 5 days into your journey.
Yeah, so that'll work as long as we get to the other side of the river. But as soon as we get to the other side of the river, I don't want to stick to the roads. We'll just follow the river, if that makes sense. I don't know how the roads go because I don't see the map. But I would like to try and stay off the roads because, we are wanted. But I wanna try and use the river as my guide. And if that's not possible, because the road follows the river, then I guess we'll just stay on the road.
The roads don't follow the river. They are mostly like out in like the center of the regions because they're just straight shots between cities.
Yeah.
So you can certainly follow the river and then try and cut across at the Y, if you will, and then cut over into South Athelion if you are able to do so. Okay. That changes some of the terrain for part of this journey.
Oh no, I have no idea what I'm doing.
That should be good.
I'm taking us through Athelion, it seems, which might not be the best idea because rangers.
It just changes the overall journey, DC. All right, Malvhor, go ahead and give me an embarkation roll. Go ahead and roll a d12. Add your survival bonus, and then half of your wisdom, round it down.
My survival bonus is... And then half of my wisdom... So half my wisdom mod?
Yes.
Okay. I just get a +1 modifier to this roll. My wisdom mod is 0. I mean, my wisdom mod, is 0. I get a +1 because Jack of all trades.
So 5.
I mean, that's pretty average. Technically a little less than average, but close.
Oh boy.
No.
Oh, no. No.
I don't like the sound of that. Malvho's never been the guide again. He tries it once.
Yeah, why would we mess with the status quo right now?
Like, your guys' journeys have gone so swimmingly before.
To be fair, the journey to Pelagir fucking sucked.
Yeah.
Well, no, it wasn't the journey to Pelagir. It was the journey to pick up the tea leaves.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah.
The what?
One of the shorter ones. The only one that was shorter than that was the one to the mines.
They call
Oh,
it
tea leaves.
mine.
It's in a mine. It's a tomb.
Alright, so you guys trek out, the four of you, around the dirt path initially to sort of get out past the homesteads and the farmlands, and then you sort of cut eastward, heading towards the Anduin, just sort of follow the riverbanks northwards.
Did you stop
You
the
get
music? Sorry.
I turned it down a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Give me 1 second. I'm building up to something.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Oh, because it stopped for me.
You guys get out away from the city, and as you get further away over the course of the next day, and you see Pelagir just sort of slowly shrink in the distance, you do see coming in from the east, rolling in dark storm clouds that eventually catch up to you, and the rain begins an absolute downpour, and the river itself begins to rise and sort of spread out closer over the banks and begin to flood a bit of the fields that you're walking through as you are walking off the beaten path, off the roads. It is now more wilderness and harder to trudge through. You all take 1 level of exhaustion.
Oh no!
Oh,
Just stayed on the
it's
road.
raining again.
Once
You
more.
guys should watch.
Aw,
You guys
shit.
should watch.
Here we
You
go
guys should watch
again.
weather reports before you go traveling. I kill that ambience because it's worthless. I'm gonna turn this one on.
Do we remember the location Ashlyn showed us where we long rested?
I would say yes, but you're heading in the opposite direction of it. It wasn't near the river, but you do remember where it would be.
Oh.
So that's up to you if you guys want to change your course. Since you guys came down a more direct road route and then jutted off westward from that to get to her hideaway to add a day to your journey.
Okay.
I don't want to add any extra time to our journey than we need to. Let's trudge on.
Alright, you guys trudge on. And while I figure out journey events, Go ahead and use this time to plot, plan, discuss, talk amongst your fellowship people.
Why does it seem like every time we leave Pelagia, it rains?
Because we don't check the weather.
What do you mean, check the weather? Are you a soothsayer? Do you have a magic ability, kid, to read what's gonna happen tomorrow?
How about you look up at the fucking clouds?
Someone is bad luck.
If you are so wise, why didn't you tell us it was going to rain?
Because you didn't look up. You gotta look up at the fucking clouds.
I'm already exhausted.
This is gonna be a long trip.
My socks are soaked. I've got puddles in my boots.
I got a snake in mine. What are we gonna do when we get there? How are we gonna find the notes?
I mean,
Let's
we're gonna
talk
enter
about
through
something productive.
We're gonna enter through the sewers, find our way to the surface, and then from there we're gonna find our way to the old king's house, where Rador was staying. That's where the notes should be. That's where he left them. Whether they're there or not, we won't know until we get there. So we kind of have to. We can only plan up to a certain point. Now, do we want to walk traverse the town during the day or during the night? The advantages of during the night are we can be stealthier, but if we're seen, it's more suspicious. During the day, we will be seen, but other people will be out, so maybe it'll be less suspicious.
I say during the day, especially with martial law going around, there's probably gonna be more guards out at night.
Do we know where this house is in
Yes,
Osgiliath?
we've been there.
Yeah.
Have I?
Well, I don't know if you have.
Okay.
Cirion
I
and
don't think I
I.
have.
Cirion and I have
Okay.
for sure. And we do have the safe house where that wind let us use that one night.
Maybe.
We need a place to lay low. We could try that. But if the king's house is empty anyway, we could probably get rest there. It wouldn't be a rejuvenating rest, but it would allow us to collect our thoughts and plan what's next. We're going to be walking around the day. You will probably have to talk down some guards.
If we walk around at night and we're seen, we're gonna have to fight guards.
Yes, and I would rather talk to guards than fight guards. But keep our heads low. Don't draw attention. Stick to the crowded areas. We can lose ourselves in the crowds.
Use the cloaks I gave you. Keep our identities as covered as possible, especially me and Malvhor.
I've got a fresh new haircut.
I mean, I got fresh new clothes and everything else. You never know.
True, never know.
No,
sure?
I even got I got more of a grown beard.
I think it'll be harder, definitely, than Pelagia was, because we've served with some of the guards.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, none of us have a disguise kit.
Locke does.
Does Locke?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he does.
That
Don't
sounds
you get
like a
there
Locke
as a,
thing. That sounds like a Locke thing to have.
I'm pretty sure he mentioned it before.
I think you're right, but I can't remember for sure. Maybe he can mess us up a little bit, make us look a little less recognizable before we get into town.
Yeah, I was gonna say something else and now I totally forgot.
I mean, we're gonna be going in the sewers. We we could just cover us. No, that'd be gross.
Oh, if we're going during the day, what could help too is if like, to make sure that we have like less view potentially on us around the house, someone could try to like, what do I want to say? Like, not cause a scene, but like just do something to get everyone's attention, like with the crowd.
I honestly,
While someone tries to sneak in during the day.
in most cases, I think that would be a good idea. But I worry about, in this specific case in Osgiliath, drawing more attention than we need to.
Well, it depends on, I guess, how we draw the attention. If it's something set aside where no one is there, then it's not like someone is being bait.
The idea of drawing attention, someone is going to be bait. And I don't see a way around it. The only thing I can see that would help us is if you happen to be the one to draw attention, because as far as I know, they're not looking for you, Fig.
I can draw attention again as a bear, but that's only during night.
And I believe that would put the city on a higher alert, which we don't necessarily want.
It was just an idea.
I think you could draw attention, Fig, just by being yourself and walking down the street.
Sing and do what diddy diddy dum diddy. Oh.
Well,
it was an idea, just to.
We'll workshop it. Keep thinking on it.
Yeah.
I
Well,
do not.
like,
I do not want to be the one to cause a distraction, because they will recognize me if too many people look at me.
Yeah.
Well, let's keep pushing on in this storm.
I eat another honey cake.
Probably soaked.
No, I'm keeping it preciously safe in my pouch.
Okay.
How do you waterproof your pouch?
Carefully. I don't know.
Good idea. Good answer. Good answer.
Some sort of animal skin, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I found a like an alligator.
So,
Those exist here.
tell us our journey goes uneventfully from here on out.
So you guys press out for a few days, which during one of those, I believe Fig wanted to do something.
I was gonna say,
Okay.
I would like to hunt, but I also on the first night want to be bear.
Yes, I'm assuming you are hunting every day to the best of your ability.
Yes.
Because, again, the hunting role, unless a journey event pops up that specifically requires the hunter to do something, I am assuming you are hunting. We're going to do a single check at the end of all of this to determine if you were able to supplement rations or everyone had to resort to rations and so on and so forth.
Okie dokies.
Because I am not doing 9 survival checks.
Okay.
Alright, so what was the other thing you wish to do?
On our first night, once everyone's kind of settled, I'll prep my like bedroll and everything, but I'll sit myself on it. I'll look at the other two, the other 3. I'm just gonna go. I'll be back, and then I'm just gonna, I don't know, activate. Activate bear.
Activate bear.
Bear.
Bear mode activated.
Yeah.
If I recall,
I'll post it. Maybe. Wait.
you do go into a dreamlike state, so you do sort of
Yes.
fall asleep. So
Yes.
depending on how you want to present that, that is what happens. So
I said she sat on her bedroll, so it probably might look like like she's meditating or something, but she'll like slump slightly over to show that she like fell asleep sitting.
So, she looks at the three of you and says, "I'll be right back." You see her sort of kneel down and like close her eyes, and you see her breath begin to deepen. It takes a moment, and there's a brief beat where you think you hear like a snore as she like nods off to sleep. And for a while, nothing seems to happen. And you sort of like side-eye each other. What Fig's doing, you just think she's napping at this rate. But after a moment, you see this bluish-white shimmer begin to take form, sort of like the center of her chest. It's a very small bead of energy, and it begins to sort of like pull forward and grow out larger, as it seems to be almost coming from her body, like an energy is just being pulled out of her skin and out of her very life essence, and it extends out almost in front of you and begins to take the form of a giant, not a giant, but a full adult-sized bear. And it has this bluish, translucent glow to it, and as it becomes a full shape, its paws slowly touch down to the ground, and you see kick-ups of dust as it lands, and the color begins to solidify and transform into a thick brown coat of bear fur.
Well, I'll be damned. That's exactly how it works, I guess.
Well, that's okay.
I'm gonna wave my hand in front of the bear.
Fig Bear will just look. Fig Bear is just gonna look and go, "Ooh," and bop it with the nose.
Okay,
Nudges your hand.
So
go
she
do your thing, Fig Bear. We'll watch your sleeping body.
The Care Bear's got a new character, Fig Bear.
Fig Bear's gonna nod, and then I'm gonna go toward the direction that I know the that cave would still be, because that would be what, still north.
I'm interested to see how you're gonna make that distance in one night, but
It says I can
narrate.
Oh, okay.
So where you're going for the cave?
Mm-hmm. That we rescued Merwin.
Okay. So you guys sort of look onward as like the bear shifts her weight and like turns around and begins to like sniff the air in the rain. It's just it just begins to lumber off in like a more of a northwestern direction, and it gets about, say, about 20 feet from you as you guys are just sort of watching, and you slowly see it just dissipates and fade into that blue energy again, out of sight.
that is so strange. Not just a bear, but a ghost bear. A spirit bear, if you will.
Hey, I'm just thankful it's on our side.
Good response.
Fig, a moment later, you reapparate right outside the mouth of the cave as a lightning begins to strike and illuminate the area, and you immediately see, as you stand at the mouth of the entrance, that the campfire that was there prior, the last time you were here, is cold. And it's just dark inside.
I want to go further in to where the bridge is and cross it if I can, and just try to sniff and look around if I can. The whole area that we saw Mordu and where Malvhor went to save, or where Malvhor went to open the cage and rescue Merwin.
You slowly make your way into the cave and through sort of like the winding tunnel that goes deeper within, downward into this cavern, and then eventually opens up into the space that you're familiar with a loose bridge that connects a bit of a crevice in the ramshackled prison, if you will, across the other side. There appears to be no fires. There appears to be no immediate presence of anyone here from what you can see at first glance.
Are there... There were tables and stuff, right?
There were.
Is there anything that looks interesting on the tables? Are there barrels still around too? Does it smell like anything? What is it? Bleh, everything.
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
It's dark!
Yes, it is.
Fuck!
12. You see most of the contents that was here before are gone. Three of the three cages remain. The table is still there. However, as you do sort of like sniff the air, you do catch the waft of something up on that higher rised area that Mordu was standing before that you guys never progressed to.
Can I get to there?
Yeah, there's a path that he was walking down as he was being antagonized.
Okay, I will follow my nose.
You follow it, go up onto that higher raised plateau, and you do see further in against the wall as a bit of a cutout, almost literal hole in the wall that appears as you look down and see foot traffic from before. You recall a individual that was by the barrels and the cages ran up this direction before the fight really began to ensue, and you sort of come to the conclusion they probably left out that area. But you do hear, coming from within, a bit of an echoing of like a metallic sound coming through every now and again, that it almost sounds like shifting armor.
Through that little opening is where the sound's coming from?
It's not a little opening, it's probably about this wide across.
Okay.
So it might be a bit of a squeeze to get through, but you do hear something coming from there. Especially in bear form, it might be a little hard.
I will try to be quiet, but I will try to shimmy through.
Okay, go ahead and give me a stealth check. Okay. And go ahead and give me a dexterity check to try and squeeze through as a bear.
Oh, that's fine.
So you follow these tracks and follow the sound, and you come to the opening in the cave wall, and you squeeze yourself through, and you actually feel your back hips get caught, and you try to wriggle through and squeeze on through, and at one point it gets too tight and it actually sort of squeezes you to the point where it's almost painful, and you sort of roar out, and you just hear your roar echo down the cave. But as you do that, you actually pull yourself through.
Okay. I will...
You hear that metallic sound stop immediately.
I'm going to still try to be quiet and just keep going.
As you get probably another 5-10 feet, you hear a voice. Something's in here. All right, better pack up. We shouldn't be here any longer anyway. Go, back out this way. As you hear sort of shifting feet and shuffling armor begin to get further and further away.
I'm gonna start chasing them.
Oh, God. Okay. At
I
the
just want
bears.
to catch up to them and see what they're doing, but totally chase them.
Okay. At the bear's movement speed, as you break stealth, you do eventually catch up to them as you see two goblins sort of running out as I hear like the heavy footfalls coming up from behind them. And you see them carrying some stuff, sort of like satchels and armor of sorts. And as you're getting closer and closer to them, they sort of look behind them, and color sort of fades from their face at first glance as this bear is barreling down at them.
Bear versus goblins.
Guys, I'm scary as bear form even.
It's a bear. But
I
the
think
one
all
is
bears
going
are
to
scary.
quickly notch an arrow and shoot at you
Oh,
for a 22.
well, I guess that probably hits.
As he's running and he takes the arrow out and stops and sort of like lines up a shot, and he lets it go as you're just barreling through and it connects with your left clavicle, and immediately upon impact, the bear form disappears, and you come back to consciousness and you take 8 piercing damage.
So, oh, fun. So, Fig slumps over slightly, and all of a sudden you guys just kind of see like, ugh, and she'll wake
Can we
up.
see like a pool of blood at the clavicle?
Nope.
Probably.
No.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, how'd it go?
Oh, that hurt. Goblins.
Did
There were goblins there, I think, looting what they could.
they shot at you when you were in bear form? They stabbed you? Shot?
No, arrows.
Arrows. And it hurt. Does it hurt you when you get hurt as a bear?
Yes, it does.
Or at least did you kill the goblins?
No, I couldn't quite catch up to them, but at least the place looked like there was not much left anyways.
Okay, well, thanks for checking. We'll push it out of our minds.
Right. The armor, I didn't catch any glimpses of the armor or anything, right?
That they were wearing?
Oh, I thought they were, yeah, I guess so.
Seemed par for the course.
Okay. Okay. I did scare them though.
I mean, you scare everybody.
I'm scary.
Scary bear is scary.
Now, can you do that every night?
Y- a- After a good night's sleep, yes.
And can you go anywhere you want? Because we're pretty far away from that cave.
That is the farthest I can get to from here. Few days travel.
Oh, okay, so you
At
couldn't,
least
like, go up to the Greenwood from
No.
here.
No.
Shame. It'd be
That would be nice.
it would be very powerful ability if you could do that.
That would be nice. I could see my family.
Oh, I feel like that's a little darker than I intended, but yes, that would be nice to see your family. We'll get some shut-eye. We got a long journey ahead of us.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to sleep.
Oh.
Do we need to do watch?
I don't know, do you?
I assume the lookout is responsible for watching. And are we gonna come up? Are we gonna roll for watch multiple times for 9 days straight?
I will only be interrupting if journey events dictate it. So whatever you guys do, and from a narrative perspective, as your characters, what you do every night is up to you. So if you guys want to establish watches and go through that and, you know, RP that out, that's up to you guys. But when you're on a journey and it's going to be this sort of length of time, checks and obstacles and that sort of stuff is only going to be dictated by the journey events, which you don't know when those will pop up.
Yep.
So I'll leave it up to you guys.
I mean, realistically, we're out in the wild. We would have watches.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And we all take a turn. Split it up into 4 sections of the night. We all take a turn, so it's fair. Especially since Locke doesn't need to sleep.
He needs 4 hours of sleep. Okay.
Oh, the rain ended. I can hear the birds.
That would be great.
You guys press on for several days following the river. 2 of those days were met with downpours and thunder. It was a very miserable experience that did slow your progression and tire your muscles, but it didn't tack on any time to your efforts. You do eventually get to a bit of the halfway point where you see the Anduin split off from one sort of lesser river that flows down from the mountains, and across the way from the rushing water of the Anduin, probably 60 feet across, you can see the other bank of Athelion. This is the point that Malvhor has established that he wishes to cross and lead you guys into Athelion. Malvhor, how would you wish to guide the party in this endeavor?
Okay, so I'm on the wrong side of the river.
Hey, Benny!
Looks like you're on the wrong side of the river.
You're welcome, Kevin.
I love that movie.
How does the river look?
Go ahead and give me a nature check.
Seven.
Oh.
Seems calm.
Any of us have rope?
Is it part of seasonal traveling gear?
Yes, I have rope. I have 50 feet of hemp rope.
How wide is the river?
60 feet.
60 feet.
Hey man, you just asked for rope.
Yeah.
Let me double check. I think I might have some. I need to... Oh, it doesn't want to load. I probably have some if it's part of the seasonal gear.
Well, my thinking is we all grab one end of the rope, one of us crosses, the rope acts as an anchor, and then the person on the other side can be the anchor to help get the rest of us across. The river does look calm, but I don't trust water since the rain has been so bad the past couple days.
I feel like we've tried this before in another specific campaign.
You are correct.
Where to go? Where to go? I mean, makes sense to me.
Okay, kid,
Does
how
it
about...
look deep?
Well, I mean, the river is larger than the ropes is, so we're gonna have to do it a little differently. How about we all take a section of the rope, tie it to our waists, and we'll cross it together. So if one person loses the footing, the other 3 act as an anchor to stop them from flowing away.
Right, but does it?
This is how we all die.
Can we walk across it?
I don't know. You go first. You find out.
Can I check?
How do you check?
I want to stare into the water and see how deep blue it is.
Malvhor, you're a dick.
Don't tell me your secret's water.
Does it seem deep based on my travels around water and wilderness?
Go ahead and just give me a regular wisdom check. There's no disadvantage on this. Just a regular wisdom check. Actually, no, sorry, intelligence.
Oof.
Okay.
Go
Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Huh?
Go ahead and give me an investigation check as you stare into the water.
At disadvantage.
At disadvantage for exhaustion.
Yeah, I probably deserved that 3 for my smart-ass comment. Hold on. Bah.
Not bad
12.
for disadvantage.
Really hard to tell. The rain has messed with a lot of the clarity of the water, and there's a lot of mud and silt flowing through it that is making it extremely cloudy. And what current you do see is moving a bit of the debris beneath the surface that makes it very difficult. From where you can tell immediately at the banks, it's fairly shallow, but once you get out into the middle, you can't tell.
Okay. Traveling gear!
God.
I
Still there.
have more rope. So I am happy to take Cirion's rope, tie it with mine, and I'll tie it around myself, and I'm happy to test the waters and go first.
Okay, you do that. We'll hold on to the other
I'm the
end.
tallest one here.
Okay.
So I'll fasten.
I remember when I was the tallest one here.
And then I'm going to stand at the edge of the river, and I'm going to carefully and slowly kind of start like stepping myself in, just to keep trying to gauge the depth as I go.
Okay. You get about 10 feet out, and you feel it slowly going deeper and deeper. And as you keep going, it creeps up to your calf, about your thigh, your hips. You get maybe about a third of the way out, and it's up to your arms, like up to your armpit, to the point where your feet are barely touching the surface. Do you continue? Or barely touching the riverbed? You're muted.
Don't know how that happened. I'm halfway.
You're about a third of the way.
Oh.
Gonna have to swim.
How does the water feel as the current?
Cold.
Strong.
I'm going to...
I'm gonna die here.
I mean, we could always turn back, but I'm giving a gift die to Fig, and I'm just gonna say, if Fig feels like she can't cross, then we won't cross here. Because if Fig can't cross, then I don't know how the rest of us are gonna cross. But I have faith in you, Fig. And I give you a gift die.
If
Fig,
I wasn't exhausted. Oh man.
Do you feel the river current sort of eroding away what bits of riverbed that you're currently standing on and rushing past the rest of your legs? You're sort of holding your position now of where you are, but you do know the current from it's flowing in from the mountain, feeding in from another river, that the two currents sort of collide, and they are picking up a bit.
And it's like up to here, right?
It's right where you are right now. It's right up to your particular armpits and like mid shoulder.
Okay. Oh, right, mine, because I'm 6'4".
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. I am not feeling confident.
You
What do you
make
do?
the call. And Malvhor will say, if you don't feel comfortable, Fig, we won't go this way.
I'm going to take a few steps back so I've got some better grounding.
Okay.
And I'll turn back, or I'll look back at the three of them, and I'm gonna grimace slightly and just go, it's maybe too strong for all of us, and it's very deep. We might all be too tired for this. But I can try.
You're the one in the water, Fig. If you want to try it, go for it. But if you want to come back out, we'll go another way.
If I make it, we're just guiding each other with the rope, right?
I mean, the rope will help, but it's not going to be a surefire way to get across.
What are you doing?
If we don't, then what?
We'll just have to find another way. There's another way. We'll just keep going north.
Yeah. I don't think Fig would test it that much. She's got a better head on her shoulders than that when she's not raging, so she'll turn around.
Okay.
Well, I didn't expect Fig to. No, I'm not gonna say that sentence because I don't want to egg her on.
Nope. No, I'll leave it at that.
That's doing the pussy if you don't.
Well, then we take another road.
We can see if the river calms down later too to try again.
We're just gonna keep trying to make our way toward Osgiliath, going in that northerly direction without crossing the river.
So, where you're at right now, if you continue to follow the river, you have to cross the smaller river.
Yeah.
Or you can go further west and link up with the road and cross the bridge that you crossed before.
We'll keep going till we hit the smaller river.
I mean, you're right.
Actually,
you're at the fork.
Well, we're already at the fork. Okay.
That's where you wanted to cross before. Was at the where it basically cut you off. Because where you're at is basically uncharted.
Yeah.
So there's no roads here. So there's no bridges. So this was like the point of following the Anduin to the point where you basically dead end north, and you either head east across the river, or you either cross this one north, or you head west to the main road.
Okay. Well, if Fig doesn't feel comfortable crossing the river, then we should head west and take the bridge. There should be a bridge to the west here that'll get us across the smaller river. And that should get us back on a path to Osgiliath. Because if Fig doesn't feel safe swimming the river, I sure don't. Right?
If it was just me, I would have tried it, but I don't think all of us will make it safely without something happening.
I mean, something's gonna happen on this adventure, one way or another.
We're
It just
already
depends
all
where.
exhausted, so we're also all at disadvantage too, mechanically
We're gonna be exhausted this whole story arc.
Yeah, the odds are just consistently not in our favor.
But I mean,
And
no.
the last time we tried to cross something, Locke nearly died.
Did Locke nearly? Oh, you talking about the stalagmite?
Yeah. Yep.
Because I was thinking specifically river. I was like, did we try to cross the river?
But
no,
that was bad too.
we'll go west to the bridge.
Okay. You sort of follow the sort of northwestern river, the river Irul, that feeds into the Anduin. You follow it northwest, will lead you towards the main road. Messes with your route a little bit. It's about 30 miles from where you are, so it's another sort of like day and a half to get to the main road. And as you eventually cross onto the main road and begin following it, it's a bit easier on the feet. It's a bit more well-traveled, not so much walking through the wilderness and the tall grasses and almost flooded plains that you had to do early on. Cirion, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Guards everywhere.
Yeah, right.
Disadvantage from exhaustion.
Can I argue just normal because I don't want to do disadvantage? Boom.
Now you can
There we
take
go.
double disadvantage for being a bitch.
20.
The dice say that's a 22 with disadvantage.
Yeah, so I don't want to hear your bitching.
You never want to hear my bitching.
Did I stutter?
He just wants someone to listen to his bitching.
It's called a therapist.
Nobody ever. As I recall, you were, sir. You even had a clicky pen.
I was woefully unqualified and you knew it.
And that's why I wanted you to do it.
22. After a while of getting off to the main road, you see out in the distance a couple of other smaller paths sort of meeting at a bit of a crossroads. One that continues north, one that heads out a little bit west. There's a clump of trees nearby and several large sort of moss-covered boulders. And you're probably a good sort of like 80 feet out. And you make out 4 individuals sort of sitting under like the shade as the sun is sort of beginning to set of these boulders that appear to be spread out, but 2 of which are within close proximity of one another, that appear to be conversing at these crossroads. So you do see individuals up ahead of you.
I'll point them out to the group and just kind of recommend we avoid them.
I mean, would that not be suspicious? Have they seen us? I just feel like it might be suspicious to see a group of people.
Do they see us? Did they seem like they seen us?
Doesn't appear like they've seen you immediately. You're about 80 feet out. They seem to be more focused on each other right now.
I think just talking to them will be fine. What's the worst that could happen?
I'm gonna cover my face with my hood. And stand way back.
Okay.
Okay.
Unless anyone stops me, Mal will say, I'm gonna walk up and say hello to them. Unless the rest of the group vetoes that decision and wants to go off-road to avoid them.
Or we can just keep walking and pass them.
I mean, that's effectively what I'm doing.
Oh.
Did you guys stop to discuss this, or are you walking and talking?
Walking and talking.
I assumed walking and talking.
Oh, I assume
Walking
Okay,
and
stop.
as you continue to close the gap, then as you're walking and talking, Cirion is with the 22. As you reduce the 80 feet to closer to about 60 feet, 2 of those individuals, their stature seems to be a bit arched and a bit more brawny of sorts. One with a sort of a cream-like cloak, but you do notice that their demeanor and such appears to be that more of the orc kind.
We orc slaying today, kids.
That's 2 of them. Only 2 of them appear to have that.
Go away.
What if I befriend the orcs?
I want to see that. Well, there's two of them. I mean, Malvhor, do you want to try to befriend them?
I mean, they're orcs. What? I now have a bad feeling of walking by them, but I kind of want to try it. Do you think it's an ambush on the roadside?
No, with only two of them, I doubt it. It doesn't even look like they're... Do they seem like they're aggressive or anything?
The two, one of them is standing probably about 10, 20 feet from the other, just sort of like looking around out into the forest, like this, not really a forest, but like the woodland area to your right. And the other one is standing in the middle of the crossroads conversing with the other individual that doesn't appear to be orc-like.
Okay, I'm gonna walk up there. I'm gonna walk up there. I'm just gonna walk by and we'll see what happens. Just if I start getting attacked, just save my life, please. I have a wife and kid at home.
As we're walking, I'm gonna hold on to my dagger, like with my offhand, and if they do any form of aggressive motion, I'm gonna attack them with.
Okay, Fig, what are you doing?
I feel like Locke and I are gonna be standing from the back, just kind of like, and then I'm sure both of us, kind of like Cirion, are just like, I'll have my face covered still, like I said, and I'm just gonna rest a hand on the hilt of my axe, and I'm going to tense and just, I would like to be alert with whatever's going on.
Okay. So as you guys sort of stagger yourselves and begin walking in this down this path, you close from 60 to 40 feet. And as you keep walking, as you get about 30 feet away, the one sort of orc, or now that you get closer, goblin, that's been keeping an eye out in the woodlands, peers down to the south, coming down at the road that you guys are coming up, and he just sort of gurgles out, "We have visitors!" And you see the two that were conversing in the crossroads sort of look out in a quick manner, and they grasp for their weapons, and you see something. Actually, no, none of you do see something. That would be somebody else, but they're not here. Passive perception's a bitch. And they immediately bring up their weapons, and they step away from each other. And at that 30 feet range, you see the larger individual immediately grab his bow and begin to notch it, and the goblin as well begins to notch it as well. And that's where we're going to end tonight.
Whoa, no need for hostilities, friends. We're just going for a walk.
Nick is gonna hate us.
He's gonna hate us more.
So we'll pick up next week with initiative.
I'm going to use my first turn on initiative to disarm them with my charm.
Talk no jutsu.
Yep. They were a tad surprised, so you're lucky you didn't get a wave of attacks immediately, but you're still at 30 feet out. So,
I mean, 30
since
feet's
you didn't
long enough for a bow.
Quite everybody, for the most part, 30 to 40 feet, depending on how you guys staggered yourself, and we'll handle that in the map next week.
Okay.
Yeah, since it wasn't a stealthy approach, they picked you out, and yeah. They were having a nice, pleasant conversation.
I just wanted to say hi.
Yeah, they don't want to say hi to you.
Hey, let me know that they're attacking us first. Why are they having a conversation on the middle of the road where travelers are gonna come? Like, go take it in the forest.
'Cause journey event, probably.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Might have been a question to eavesdrop on, but oh well. Here we are.
Nick probably would have wanted to do that.
Probably.
Oh no, he's really gonna hate us.
I mean, I'm not gonna ghost his character.
No. Oh
Nope,
well.
that's for me to do. But that's all for us tonight. We ran a little bit longer, had to catch up on a few things. But hope you all enjoyed it, and we'll be back in Osgiliath hopefully this time tomorrow or next week. So,
Tomorrow.
if only. If
Just
only.
So I can get to break it to y'all.
That's all for us. Have a good night, and see you all next week. Stay proficient.